Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Brianna Wilson. I'm a certified dementia practitioner and the founder of Bambu Care, where you can find us at letsbamboo.com. So today we're doing a Q&A style video, and I will be answering 2 questions on the topic of incontinence. If you have any questions of your own, please feel free to leave a comment down below and leave your question, and I will get back to you. And depending on what you ask, I may even make a video, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is, I have tried different pull-ups or pads. Husband refuses to wear anything but pees his pants about 3 times a week. What do I do? So immediately after reading this, a couple of things come to mind, and one thing in particular stands out to me. So his incontinence is irregular because she said that he pees his pants about 3 times a week. So what I would want to know is there something different about the days that he has an accident, okay? Because if we can figure out what is triggering the incontinence, the accidents on those days, we may be able to prevent him from wearing incontinence wear altogether, and we don't even have to worry about that right now. So inside of the treehouse under the Paw Pass, we actually have 2 resources that can be really helpful for this. So we have a toileting habit tracker and we have a behavior tracker, and you can use both of those things to try to figure out what may be going on, because there may be something going on with him, or there could be something going on with the environment that may need to be modified. So for example, if he's having maybe more confusion on that day and the bathroom is not really easy to find or even get to, then on those days that he has more confusion, he could just have a hard time finding the bathroom in time and may just not be asking for help and therefore has an accident. Or maybe when he has accidents, he's in the middle of doing something. So maybe he can tell that, maybe I need to pee, but I'm focused on something, so I'm going to continue doing this. And so then he waits to the last minute to actually end up going to the bathroom. So then he has the accident on himself because he cannot hold his bladder long enough, right? Another thing that you may want to consider is, would he benefit from a toileting schedule? So with a toileting schedule, we're essentially having the person go to the bathroom every 2 to 4 hours, but we want to adjust this schedule according to their natural patterns and toileting habits. And that is where the toileting habit tracker comes in real handy, because basically what you're doing is you're tracking when they're going to the bathroom and when they're having accidents, so that we can figure out at what regular intervals can we have the person go to the bathroom, so that we can try to reduce the number of incontinent episodes or eliminate them altogether. And we actually did a whole blog post on the topic of establishing a toileting schedule, so I will link that down below in the description, okay? Now, that's where I would start. I would start with trying to figure out what is happening on the days that he has these episodes, and I would also try to figure out, can we establish a toileting routine to help reduce the chances of that happening, okay? Now, in the meantime, while you're trying to figure all this out, but they're still having accidents and they still don't want to wear what you're suggesting as far as the pull-ups and the pads, what can you do? Well, they actually do make incontinence wear for men and women. I'll get to that in a second. But for men that look like regular boxers or briefs. And I'll put them on the screen right here. And I'll also link them down below in the description. But yeah, they look just like regular underwear that men wear. And they're really good, especially if they have light incontinence. And some brands can handle like the light to moderate incontinence. But you may notice that your partner has less resistance to these types of incontinence wear compared to the traditional briefs, diapers, pull-ups, those style of underwear, okay? So I would give that a try and see how they like it. Now, this doesn't even have to be a discussion. You can literally take their old underwear out of the drawer and replace it with the new underwear and not say a word. Or if you think they would have a problem with that, you can just put them on top and remove some of the old ones as if they're just dirty so that they really only have the new ones to choose from. And of course, if they ask you about them, just say, oh, well, your other ones were kind of old, so I thought I'd buy you some new ones, because again, they look just like regular underwear. So no need to bring real attention to it. And if they have an accident, which is what they're created for, you just change the underwear and move on about the day, okay? Now for women, they make menstrual panties, right? Well, menstrual panties are also good for incontinence, especially if like I said, it's like that light to moderate type of incontinence, not a real heavy flow. But you will see that there are some options for women as well when it comes to these type of underwear that look just like the regular underwear that women wear. And they have different styles too, depending on what kind of underwear that people like. Some like the ones that just stop at their hips, some they like to come all the way over their belly button, and so they do have different styles of panties for women. And again, this isn't something that you have to have a conversation about. You can literally just switch them out and see how your partner likes them, if they start complaining about anything, and just see how it goes, okay? So that is my answer for question number 1. Let's go ahead and get into question number 2. So the second question is help. My mom is in the late stages of dementia. Every morning she takes her depends off on her bed, leaving the bed soaked. What can I do? Now, I was trying to figure out if she meant that her mom has an accident in the middle of the night, and then because she wakes up wet, she takes matters into her own hands and takes her depends off, but either the depends are so soaked that she leaves them on the bed and it gets on it, or it's so full that it spills out, or if she was saying that when her mom wakes up, she takes them off but then has an accident in bed. I wasn't sure, but either way, I do have some suggestions. So the first thing is that anytime a person is incontinent, especially if they are incontinent at night, is that you want to make sure that you're putting measures in place to protect the mattress. That is the most important part. So you can do this by putting down a waterproof mattress pad and waterproof sheets or a waterproof bed pad, which is sometimes called a chuck, okay? Now, they make the smaller bed pads, which are really good if the person is a little bit less mobile and they need help repositioning or rolling and things like that. But they also make the longer ones that span across the entire bed. And I kind of like these ones a little bit better because they don't really single out a person. So if the person is more mobile, doesn't need a lot of assistance, I recommend the longer one because now the person doesn't have to feel like, well, why is this just on my side? And it kind of looks like it's supposed to be there, like it's part of how the bed is set up, because again, it spans across both sides. Now, of course, this doesn't solve the issue of constantly having to do laundry because at the least, you're still going to have to wash the bed pad. And if it leaks through that, the sheets, and if it happens to leak through that, the waterproof mattress pad, okay? But the mattress is protected, and that's the most important part. Now, if you're concerned about getting the smell of urine out of the laundry or getting the stains from the laundry, then we actually do have a really helpful video inside of the treehouse, again under the Paw Pass, that talks about the top products for removing the smell of urine and fighting stains, okay? So if you're interested in that, please check out the treehouse. Now, let's say that the mattress is protected, everything is good there, but we still want to see if we can figure out if we can prevent her from taking the depends off to begin with. So there's no mess, right? What can we do? Well, the first thing that I would want to take a look at is her nighttime routine. Is there anything about the nighttime routine that may need to be adjusted so that she's not having accidents in the middle of the night? So we want to take a look at, well, is she using the bathroom before she lays down? How close to bed is she drinking liquids? Are there certain medications that maybe you need to talk to the doctor about and see if they could be causing her incontinence in the middle of the night? So we want to see like what may be going on and what we can adjust, okay? Now, another thing you may have to do, because Even for someone like me who pees before they go to bed and tries not to drink anything too close to bedtime, I still have to get up in the middle of the night, about 4 hours into my rest, to go pee, okay? So it may be worth seeing, is she waking up in the middle of the night and then using the bathroom in her Depends? Or is she sleeping through the night and just happens to have an accident on herself while she's sleeping? Because if she is waking up, then it may be beneficial to kind of wake up with her, especially if there's a predictable pattern, and help her use the bathroom. Whether that's change out her brief if she's already gone, or if she can be assisted to a bedside commode, getting her over to a bedside commode if it's too hard to actually get her to the actual bathroom. So that's another thing that I would consider. Now, let's say that none of that is feasible for whatever reason. My next thought is, well, is there a pattern to the time that she wakes up? And if so, is it possible to intervene before she takes off the Depends by herself? That way, there's more control around the removal of the Depends, and if necessary, you can help her change into a new one. Because the reality is, if somebody is uncomfortable, it's going to be really hard to prevent them from removing that discomfort. So the only thing that we can do is either prevent the discomfort from happening in the first place or helping them remove the discomfort, okay? Those are the options. And if we can't figure it out because it's just too hard to figure out or we don't have the bandwidth to figure it out, that is why it's so important to protect the mattress. Because again, that's the most important part, okay? But I really do hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please be sure to give us a like and also share this video with someone else who could benefit from this information, okay? Again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and until next time, bye guys.